We've all seen those social media videos of pets pressing plastic buttons to talk like humans, but nobody is talking about the elephant in the room. We're basically forcing a silent predator to wear a human voice suit. You probably saw one of those sheepadoodle videos while scrolling TikTok at 2 a.m. Then you likely went and bought a soundboard kit from Target's pet section with huge expectations. You figured this would finally let you have a direct conversation with your favorite cat. Our obsession with talking to animals using these augmentative interspecies communication devices isn't actually new. But after setting the buttons up, you might have felt a weird sense of emptiness or distance. The internet has trapped us in an illusion where we start thinking of animals as people. We think these plastic buttons are giving our cats a new voice. Honestly, this attempt to teach animals human language goes back to the Middle Ages. Back in the 19th century, Alexander Graham Bell tried to teach his dog to say mom like a human. Another guy named Sir John Lubbock taught his dog Van to communicate using different cards. They assumed animals might have the ability to talk like us and just lacked the right tools to show it. Even in the 60s, Elizabeth Mann Borghese taught her dog Arlie how to use a typewriter. But when Arlie typed, he suffered from massive stress and would bark and cry. For dogs, these buttons might work a bit differently since they're so used to working alongside humans. Research shows some dogs actually do use two-button combinations to communicate meaningfully. They don't just mash buttons randomly to get a treat. But cats and dogs are two entirely different species with totally different evolutionary histories. Cats naturally solve problems in their environment independently and in their own way. Their brain structure and the way they interact with their surroundings are completely different from dogs. Honestly, I'm not sure if these plastic buttons actually help or hurt our relationship with our pets. When we force a cat to use a soundboard, we trap them inside a human framework. We push our own emotions onto them just to make a viral video. Just because a button says mad or hungry, we assume the cat is thinking exactly that. The famous clever hands effect plays a massive role here. Without realizing it, we use our body language to cue our pets on exactly which button they need to press. Then we take those random button presses and string them together into a cute story. This method of measuring animal intelligence is actually really weird and one-sided. We try to measure their smarts by how close they can get to using human language. That's an incredibly arrogant way to look at the natural world, because it ignores the animal's true nature. We forget the ethological truth that they are not just hairy humans. Cats don't use their mouths to explain everything like we do, right? They use their bodies. A cat's most powerful communication tools are its sense of smell and its vision. They rub their cheeks to talk to you in their own language and spread their scent. The chemical signal they leave behind by rubbing their cheeks is basically a visiting card in the cat world. They don't just use it to claim territory. It also shows their deep affection for you. When a cat licks another cat or licks you, they are building a social bond. A recent study on human and cat interaction revealed some really fascinating information. It showed that cats approach strangers much faster when the human uses bimodal communication. For example, you look at the cat and blink slowly and call them in a very soft voice. This blend of eye contact and sound means a lot more to a cat than just spoken words. To them, physical posture and scent are the most genuine and effective forms of communication. That same study found that when a person sits completely still, cats get annoyed and wag their tails more. You might think a wagging tail means the cat is super happy, just like a dog. But there's a massive difference between a dog wagging its tail and a cat wagging its tail. For a cat, sitting there wagging its tail is actually a sign of extreme frustration and stress. When you sit silently hoping your cat will hit a button, the cat is actually getting incredibly frustrated. We are completely ignoring their natural visual and chemical signals. Instead, we're sticking a fake and childish human voice onto them. By doing this, their real voice is slipping away forever without us even noticing. Their meows, their body postures, and their scents are all highly powerful ways to communicate. When they see another cat on the street and stick their tail straight up, that's a sign of friendship. We need to understand that this body language is their real soundboard. Cats are highly sensitive to their surrounding space and territory. When they enter a new place, they observe everything very carefully and adjust to the environment. So when we think we are teaching them to talk, no, actually we aren't teaching them to talk. We're just conditioning them to hit a plastic circle. Pressing the button gets them a reward or makes the owner happy, and that's it. We risk treating our pets like dolls. When When your cat comes over and curls up next to you, that's pure physical communication. Through this touch, they send you a message of trust and reliance that no button could ever deliver. The buttons don't actually give the cat a voice or a language of its own. The buttons just give human ears a chance to hear a mechanical echo. We just want to hear our own words in our own language coming out of an animal. But to build a real relationship, we need to learn their language. We have to recognize when they pull their ears back in fear. We have to notice when they stretch out and relax because they feel comfortable. These micro-expressions are the true language of the cat, which they have been using for thousands of years. If you really want to understand your cat, stop relying on those plastic buttons. Sit quietly, look into their eyes, and blink slowly. You'll see they will easily tell you what is actually on their mind without any modern technology. Internet trends come and go, but an animal's true biology never changes. We should respect their unique nature and let them communicate in their own way. Forcing them to act like humans can never be true love. True love is learning to understand them exactly as they are. This button trend might give us some quick entertainment on social media, but it pulls us far away from our cat's actual psychology and natural behavior. The more we try to turn them into humans, the more we lose their true essence. Have you ever bought a gadget that turned out to be a complete failure for your pet? Let me know your experiences down in the comments and tell me how your cat communicates with you.